So now it looks like we've reached the oops, sorry phase of the post-pandemic. Those who inflicted the inhumane outrage of lockdown, vaccine mandates, and all that went with it upon society are now trying to scurry away with their tails between their legs, trying to quietly move on and hope nobody notices. The billionaire-owned elitist mouthpiece, The Atlantic magazine, has just published an article titled, "Let's declare a pandemic amnesty. We need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID." Professor Emily Oster writes that blaming anyone is, quote, preventing us from moving forward. This is someone who demanded Thanksgiving lockdown, full school lockdowns, and vaccine mandates for both students and workers, vaccine mandates for domestic travel, vaccines for pregnant women. She absolves herself of blame by claiming her and others were, quote, in the dark and didn't know about the scale of the threat posed by the virus in the early days. And yet Emily Oster was pushing employer vaccine mandates as late as July 2021. The gaslighting on display is off the charts. Yeah, we may have prevented people from attending the funerals of their own mothers and fathers.
Despite a lifetime together, her husband of 51 years, Tom, now in isolation, was unable to be with her at the end.
We may have atomised and obliterated families, leaving grandmothers to die alone. Oops, sorry! We did monster dehumanise and vilify the unvaccinated, called them granny killers, tried to ostracise them from society. In Canada we labelled them domestic extremists, tried to get them fired from their jobs, banned from travelling, seized their bank accounts, falsely smeared them with the slogan, pandemic of the unvaccinated. This same publication may have called for putting them on no-fly lists like terrorists, and we did pass vaccine mandates and vaccine passports on the false premise that the vaccine was 100% effective in preventing transmission. Yeah. Sorry about that. I mean, yeah, we did ban, blacklist and censor anyone who claimed the virus came from the Wuhan lab. Even though it probably did, we contrived and exploited hysteria over misinformation to deplatform doctors and other health experts who were saying things that were manifestly provably true. Sorry. We screamed at people for not wearing masks, stalked, harassed and assaulted them for trying to buy food while not wearing a face nappy. And yes, we did actually know in early 2020 about the true efficacy of them. Oops, sorry. We did order riot police to stomp on the heads of people who protested against lockdown, cheered when pregnant mothers were arrested in their own home for organising anti-lockdown demonstrations on Facebook, while simultaneously praising millions of people for congregating in close proximities in major cities to protest for Black Lives Matter, because apparently the same rules didn't apply when the protesters were marching for a cause that we supported. Oops, sorry. We may have forced mask mandates and school closures that led to serious cognitive development disorders in children, speech therapists reporting 300% plus increases in toddlers being unable to speak, and huge spikes in childhood depression and suicide. Oops, sorry. The same people responsible for this now want pandemic amnesty. How about no?
The life of Alan Wright. I therefore offer you all a very warm welcome as we unite in love and friendship to...
You have to put the chair back, I'm afraid. You can't move the chair to resolve.
Let's pause there for a word from the sponsor of this video. Lord Watson. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Well, now it's a reality. Yes, it's now official. I am now a lord. I own land in Scotland, and you could too. With established titles, you can take advantage of the Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords or ladies. You can even change your name to lord or lady and get it on your plane tickets or credit cards. Need a last-minute table at that restaurant, but it's fully booked? Tell them you're called lord or lady, and you just might find they can accommodate you. Put it on your dating profile and watch your matches explode. Your certificate features a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland. But it gets better. Established titles are committed to planting at least 1 tree for every order placed. So by buying a title pack, you're directly helping a genuine environmental cause, reforestation, supporting the fantastic work of One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future partner charity groups. With Christmas not far away, this also makes a great original gift.
Yeah.
Mother me Lord! You will be calling me Lord!
What were you gonna buy? Another boring pair of socks? You can also get couple packs that come with adjoining plots of land. And get this, the first 200 people who purchase a title pack using my link will effectively be located right next to my plot. We can be together in spirit. We can build a kingdom. We can reconquer Scotland for the English. Alright, maybe I'm taking it a bit too far. Established Titles is running a massive sale right now. Their early Black Friday sale gives you a huge 80% discount on title packs. Plus, if you use the code Lord Watson, you get an extra 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/Lord Watson to get your gifts now. And remember, by supporting my sponsors, you support me directly. Now back to the video. Sorry that while your parents were dying from untreated cancer due to overwhelmed hospitals, we were busy doing dance routines for TikTok clout while you weren't even allowed to visit your sick relatives.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Find it hard to tell you, find it hard to tell you. People run in circles, it's a very, very
Yeah, my bad, won't happen again. We oversaw the biggest wealth transfer from poor to rich in human history. We destroyed livelihoods, shut down businesses, and wrecked the economy for years to come. Fired people for making a personal medical choice. And, yeah, we're sorry about that. No, your apology's not accepted. This can't be allowed to happen again. And the only way to ensure that is to make sure the people who inflicted all this on us face the consequences for what they did. As Michael P. Senger writes, like many of the mainstream COVID voices, Oster had long been closely attuned to COVID data showing that these mandates did not work, yet she often seemed reluctant to share that data insofar as it contradicted the mainstream orthodoxy that mandates were necessary. In that sense, the policy prescriptions of Oster and those like her may have had less to do with ignorance than with cowardice, tribalism, and following orders which can't be considered acting in good faith. The lockdowns were never imposed out of better safe than sorry good faith arguments based in well-meaning ignorance. They were imposed by deliberately ramping up fear in order to ensure intellectually lobotomized compliance. Lurid propaganda that at one stage, in August 2020, had the average American believing that 30 million Americans had died of COVID, 225 times the actual figure at the time, while anyone who questioned what was happening was ruthlessly denigrated. We don't need throwaway editorials, breezy trivializations, or sheepish tweets asking everyone to forget about it and move on. We need official investigations, not whitewashers. Legal ramifications, compensation for damages, financial restitution, actual accountability. You don't get to endorse and activate policies that did extraordinary harm to millions of people and then just claim ignorance. I'm sorry, but oops sorry just isn't gonna cut it.